Today is one of those days. I recently posted about the fact I'm 26 years old and I'm in $95,487.73 worth of debt, and I want to talk about it.
I hate to use this term, but I'm drowning. I've been reading your books and your program for the last couple months, what I could get at the library and watching your videos online. But everything's kind of come to a head. And
my wife and I have 4 children. She is a stay-at-home mom. I make about $32,000 to $35,000 a year. Together, we have about $100,000 in debt.
Somebody asked me why am I $500,000 in debt? It's because I went to college.
I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest. I started aggressively looking at my debt in January and truly didn't know the full financial picture until I got it all down on paper.
I have $60,000 worth of car debt, with about $30,000 of that being in negative equity. And let me tell you how the dealership scammed me, because I bought my car by myself back in 2022 and I got scammed, and I don't want y'all to get scammed.
I have a question. How much credit card debt are you in? Because for context, I'm 26. I've been working since 17, paying for my own shit, moved out at 18, have been independent ever since. And I have $10,000 worth of credit card debt.
Has any other millennial just decided that they're not paying off their debt? That there's just no point? They're not paying off the student loans. They're not addressing the medical bills. You're not addressing the credit card debt. You don't give a fuck about debt to income ratio. You're just deciding that you're not going to do.
You can't take responsibility. The future is just not there.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep thinking about the worst case scenario.
What, bankruptcy?
Yeah.
That'd be really tough to go through at 25, but...
Especially with my car, too. I think that's what's kind of stopping me from going that route, because...
You have $152,027,000.
So as it turns out, the student loans that I've been paying $1,500 a month for 2 years have a 17% interest rate. So what I thought I've been paying off for all this time, I'm actually, I owe more than what I started off with. What the fuck? Am I left?
How much debt does the typical Orthodox Jewish family have?
Very hard to give a specific number for the typical, but we are seeing a lot of debt. I'm seeing regularly couples who are coming in, individuals who are coming in with anywhere between a few thousand to $30,000 to $100,000 of credit card debt.
And to the lady that owes $264,000 worth of debt, live your life, girl. Live your life. That debt gonna be here till you dead and gone, sugar. Live your life. I'm not saying go out there and be irresponsible and get yourself into any more debt, but what I am saying is this: do not deprive yourself of living your life.
Hello, welcome to Finance Cho. I'm here to start my debt-free journey, and I'm hoping you guys will come along with me. But before we start this journey, let's take a look of how others have gotten into their debts. As the saying goes, a smart person learns from their mistakes, a wise person learns from others. So let's see what lessons we can learn today.
I recently posted about the fact I'm 26 years old and I'm in $95,487.73 worth of debt, and I want to talk about it. Up until 24 hours ago, I did not know that was actually the total of all of my debt, credit cards, and student loans. That number also does not include my auto loan, and if we are adding in my auto loan, the total number is $110,938.83. Since totaling up all of my debt, I don't think I've actually gotten one good breath of oxygen in the last 24 hours. I feel like there is an elephant sitting on my chest, and I don't think I can sit still because all I keep repeating is $95,487.73. All of this debt was racked up through decisions I made between the ages of 18 and 26. My first associate's degree I got from a community college and I didn't have to pay for because of the Pell Grant, but I decided to go to a university and got my bachelor's degree, which is where I really started to rack up the debt. Then in the last 2 years, I decided to finish a nursing degree at a community college in the last 2 years, but that's where I started to rack up even more debt. What really sucks is realizing that the majority of these student loans is not from tuition. It's actually from living expenses and living way above my means. My debt comprises of 2 credit cards, 5 federal student loans, and 5 private Sallie Mae loans. I can handle the federal student loans, but when I tell you Sallie Mae is bending me over and not in a way I like, it's actually insane. Sallie Mae is genuinely evil and they prey on young students. And the reason why they take advantage of young students is because they know if you're reaching out to a private loan like that, you genuinely need it. Out of the 5 Sallie Mae loans I have, one of the interest rates that is the highest is 16.28%. The lowest interest rate I have with Sallie Mae is 9.88%. Now, my federal student loans are between 4 and 6%, which I think is manageable. Although I had parents who would tell me what I should or shouldn't do, I never had anybody really sit me down and fully teach me financial literacy. I never had anybody sit me down and really explain to me the scope of what I was doing and what it would look like in the future when I had to pay for it. In the moment, all of the student loans just felt like fake money because they just kept coming and I just kept spending. I don't regret any of the experiences I've had between the ages of 18 and 26 or any of the things that I've done, but I do wish that I managed my finances way better than this. I think what's even more sad is a lot of these student loans were going to rent, which my rent was around $1,200 a month, and that's been consistent over the last 2-3 years. Thankfully, I do have a finance bro as a boyfriend, and he is really great at managing money and managing wealth, and so I am working with him to do a snowball effect. If I snowball all of my loans at the current rates that they are without consolidating them, I can pay all of this off by 2032. It's really sad because I'm excited about starting my first nursing job next month, but at the same time, I know that all of the money I'm making is going to debt. I'm turning 27 this year, and I wish I could be thinking about starting a family or getting married or buying a house, but really, I can't think about anything but paying off this debt. The last thing I would want to do is bring a child into this world while I have debt hanging over my head. So it almost feels like my life is kind of on hold right now, but I feel like it's even more motivation to just pay this off as quickly as possible. It is what it is, what's done is done, and at the end of the day, if you are in your early 20s and you're thinking about taking out student loans, I urge you to reconsider and ask yourself whether or not you really truly need it. If I knew then what I know now, I would tell myself that no experience, no desire, no want is worth the stress that I feel now.
So, my husband and I are $60,000 in debt. Okay. Part of the problem. You are. Let me explain how we got here. So in June of 2022, we had a good amount of savings and decided that our home that we've been living in for a couple years just needed some maintenance and some upgrades. You can see behind me, we live in like a very normal house, but there were some things like on the outside where our stucco was falling off, so we needed to have that repaired. We had our house painted, we upgraded our bathroom a little bit, and also decided to pay off my husband's private student loan because the interest is not great. And so we had plenty of savings and we decided to just drain those bad boys. We both had really stable jobs. We would be able to squirrel away some money over time and build back up our savings again. 2 weeks later, unexpectedly, I was laid off from my job. And I'm the breadwinner of our household, so it did not go well. I was unemployed for about 7 months. Thank goodness I had social media to keep us afloat for a little bit, but here's the deal. We had to put a lot of stuff on credit card to be able to keep ourselves afloat. So anything that could go on a credit card went on a credit card. And that allowed my husband's income to pay for our mortgage, our car payments, our daycare, things like that. But everything else went on a credit card. We cut back as much as we could, but there's still a lot of expenses. We finally decided to do a debt consolidation loan, and it's about $65,000. And we're gonna try and pay it off. We did a 5-year loan plan, but we're gonna try and pay it off in the next 2 years if I can finally get that OnlyFans account going. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do OnlyFans, but that's our goal. Our kids gets out of daycare this year. We've spent $36,000 a year on daycare, so one of them graduates this year, the other one goes to VPK, so that'll save us a little bit of money. Our hopes are that we're able to put a lot of what we were already paying for daycare towards this loan and get it paid off sooner than planned. But your girl loves to shop, so I'm gonna have to do some shit to keep myself accountable to this. So I'm coming on the internet and telling you what my deepest, darkest secret. Where are you going? Oh.
somebody asked me why am I $500,000 in debt, it's because I went to college. So that's when my debt journey started, just like a lot of us. Why would you give me that much money? I took out $40,000 worth of student loans, and I think I pay $169 towards it every month. A drop in the bucket. When I was in college, I also started getting credit cards. So that's where my credit card journey started. I probably have about $27,000 worth of credit card debt right now. And I was going hard paying it off at one point. I really was. I was trying my best. I was budgeting. I was putting, $1,000 towards it every month. Once you get into credit card debt, it's literally so hard to get out because of the interest rates. I took out a personal loan to consolidate 2 of my credit cards. So at this point, I think I had maybe like $6,500 left on that. So that kind of worked, but the system is really set up for you never to get out. And at this point, it's hard for me to care about credit card debt when AI is taking over and we about to go to war. I also have 2 mortgages. One of my houses I am trying to sell so that I can make a profit and pay off some of my debt. But I have put thousands of dollars towards that right now. I don't have any offers. It's been on the market for like 3 weeks. I was thinking about calling a mortgage company to ask them if they could defer a couple of the payments so that I can keep some cash handy. But I don't know. We'll see.
I have a question. How much credit card debt are you in? Because for context, I'm 26. I've been working since 17, paying for my own shit, moved out at 18, have been independent ever since. And I have $10,000 worth of credit card debt. And I will be the first to admit that I'm not perfect. I've definitely paid off medical bills and like emergency vet visits and things on my credit card, but I've also bought a lot of dumb shit. But it's like people my age have $55,000 worth of credit card debt. Do you see how my eye's twitching? That shit stresses me out. Like $55,000 is my take-home salary from my last job. Like I think I'm just morbidly curious on like what gets you to the point of $55,000 worth of credit card debt. Also, who gave you $55,000 worth of credit in general? Like not to mention, my credit usage way high. Like 90-something%. So my interest rates 30%. Like the interest would make me want to throw up.
Has any other millennial just decided that they're not paying off their debt? That there's just no point? They're not paying off the student loans. They're not addressing the medical bills. You're not addressing the credit card debt. You don't give a fuck about debt to income ratio. You're just deciding that you're not going to do. I don't want a $600 to $700, $800, $900 car note. I don't. I have a 2013 Kia. It's paid for. I don't want that car note. I have decided that I do not need to use my credit. If I can't buy it cash, I don't need to dip into this realm of basically saying you can't afford it, so use your credit until you're able to pay it off. I don't want to live an aesthetically pleasing lifestyle. If that's you, that's you. Hustle culture has taken up a majority of my life, and I don't want any part of it anymore. Chasing the next dollar, I do not want to do. Trying to pay off my debt, credit utilization tools, FICO score, I don't want any part. And I just decided that, like, even when my kids get old enough to move out, I'm like, I'm just going to fucking downsize, bitch. I might live out of a fucking car. Like, I don't even care at this point. They have their whole lives ahead of them. Mine is behind me. Mine is pretty much behind me. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to participate anymore. I don't want to participate in whatever this fucking is. I'm only going to put into the economy what I benefit out of it, which are necessities. And if it's not a necessity, I do not want any parts of it. I don't need it. And I'm damn sure not going to use credit to get it, because credit's just another way of saying you can't afford it. You're basically living out of your means right now. And that's why you're using your credit until you're able to pay it off. You're using your credit because you don't have the cash right now. And if you did have it, you wouldn't use credit. I don't want it. Fuck the debt. I'm over it.
The future is just not there.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep thinking about the worst case scenario.
What, bankruptcy?
Yeah.
That'd be really tough to go through at 25, but...
Especially with my car, too. I think that's what's kind of stopping me from going that route, because...
You have $152,000, $27,000. Oh, $152,027 in bad debt. That is a number that just shouldn't even be considered as a number for someone in your age. That's like you having a mortgage or something.
So as it turns out, the student loans that I've been paying $1,500 a month for 2 years have a 17% interest rate. So what I thought I've been paying off for all this time, I'm actually, like, I owe more than what I started off with. What the fuck? So Jeff Bezos, this would be a really cool fucking time to Venmo me, bro. Like, I owe $90,000 and I didn't even spend that much on school. Like, any rich person, please tap in. Like, Kourtney Kardashian, like, you probably have 8 houses. I'm never gonna be able to buy one because I went to college. I just signed up to be an egg donor. Guess what? Got approved. Who wants my fucking kids? I can't afford them, so start a bidding war. Just fucking take them. What do you want? My left.
How much debt does the typical Orthodox Jewish family have?
Very hard to give a specific number for the typical, but we are seeing a lot of debt. I'm seeing regularly couples who are coming in, individuals who are coming in with anywhere between a few thousand to $30,000 to $100,000 of credit card debt. In addition, in some cases, to student loan debt of anywhere from, again, 5, 10, 30, up to 100 and greater. It is a real issue, and many of the couples who are out there are struggling with this. Many of the families are living with debt, and it's definitely a part of the reality.
My wife and I have 4 children. She is a stay-at-home mom. I make about $32,000 to $35,000 a year. Together, we have about $100,000 in debt. We are kind of new to the Dave Ramsey thing, so we got the money, the app and all that, and we're going through. Most of the debt is mine. I have about $80,000 of the debt, with $30,000 of it being student loans.
30 of your 80 is student loans?
Yes.
Okay, what's the other 50?
I co-signed for a car when I was 18, and that's $20,000, and the car got repoed, and I have some stuff for school that wasn't covered by student loans, some medical things, and just kind of like all small things that add up. I have no credit cards whatsoever.
Those other small things add up to $30,000?
Well, with the car is $20,000 of it.
Yeah.
I owe a college $14,000, and then I owe some, like, 2 different medical bills that come up to $10,000. And then another $5,000 is to another school. So
okay. And what's your degree in?
I did not get to finish due to having kids. So I want to go back, but now I want to be able to, like, pay for it instead of taking out more student loans.
Okay. What were you studying?
I was biology. I am about a year away. Like, if I went back now, I may have to do longer just because of the time frame, but I had about a year left to get my biology degree.
I got you. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. And what's the other $20,000 that your wife had?
She has $20,000 in student loans. Also didn't get to finish her degree, and $2,000 is medical.
Okay. All right. Okay. And your question's what?
We know that it's a big no-no in you, so I kind of feel like I know the answer. Ooh. But I was debating if I should file bankruptcy due to the massive amount of my loan, and then the fact I only make $32,000 to $35,000, because one of the debts that I owe are attempting garnishment, and it'll take 25% of my take-home pay, which would be a lot for my family.
Yeah. Who's attempting garnishment?
One of the universities that I owe. It's the $14,000.
The $14,000. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what. Well, I mean, it's not a big no-no in the sense of, like, I'm mad at you or something. It's just a matter of, what does it do any good, number one, and then number two, I always put bankruptcy and divorce in the same bucket. You try everything you can try to keep from doing it. Anything you can do to avoid it, we avoid it. And then sometimes good people face that. I went through a bankruptcy.
Right.
You know, and I'm not proud of that, and I wouldn't recommend it. I've got a friend who went through a divorce. He's not proud of that, but he wouldn't recommend it. But he survived it, and there's life the other side of it. But it's a life-altering occurrence, you know. And so we want to look at it and analyze it and say, what is anything we can do to avoid it? You got a pretty big mess here for sure. No question about that.
I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest. I started aggressively looking at my debt in January and truly didn't know the full financial picture until I got it all down on paper. Debts include 2 private student loans, 10 federal student loans, 1 auto loan, 1 private loan, and 13 credit cards. I've already taken some drastic measures to reduce spending and start side hustling. I started posting my debt payoff journey here on TikTok in hopes of growing and getting into the creator fund. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching and following. I'm selling my debt tracking template, I'm door dashing, donating plasma, selling items around the house, and doing TikTok shop to try and make it. Made some really good progress so far thanks to an annual bonus I got from my 9-to-5 job, but I've got a long way to go. I've been able to negotiate most of my interest rates on my credit cards down with the help of a debt management plan, but the interest on my student loans is wild. My 2 private student loans have interest rates of 12.75% and 8.9%, while my federal loans range from 5.8 to 6.6%. The private student loans are from my undergraduate degree, which I earned over 15 years ago. I would probably puke if I knew how much I had already paid. And to this day, I think about all the frivolous things I bought and did when I was in my teens and 20s with this money, and wow, if I would have known I would be paying for tank tops and fun nights out at bars 1,000 times over the next 15 years, I might have made some different choices. Even though I've already paid off about $31,000 of debt so far this year, I'm still not looking at being debt-free until 2040. I honestly cannot imagine another 15 years of paying on this debt, especially with so many other life milestones I want to achieve, like buying a house and having kids. I also just got engaged, and it truly makes me sick thinking about how I am bringing more than $150,000 of debt into our marriage starting out. This is not a video to complain by any means because these were my own choices and I'm working to pay back what I owe, but I hope sharing this can resonate with others, and if you want to follow along on the journey and like and follow and share and all that fun stuff, that would be great.
I hate to use this term, but I'm drowning. I've been reading your books and your program for the last couple months, what I could get at the library and watching your videos online. But everything's kind of come to a head. And I'm losing myself a lot, and I'm not sure what to do. I'm considering bankruptcy at this point. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go back to school. I just honestly don't know what to do right now.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Mm-hmm. And how much do you make a year?
At best, I make around $19,000.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Right now, I'm a substitute teacher.
Okay. So you have a teaching certificate?
No, I owe a debt that's actually preventing me from getting the certificate. So
I don't understand.
I owe a college. In order to do the teaching program in Texas, you have to have all your transcripts. But because I owe a school, they won't release it.
Oh.
And they won't let me go with the transcripts I have.
I got you. And how much do you owe them?
I owe them around $1,300.
$1,300?
Yes.
Okay. And how quickly would you land a job were you to get your transcript, do you think?
Pretty quickly. I've been subbing. I know this is going to sound so silly, but I've been subbing for about 4 years. The thing is, the money's not constant. I'm not working during the summers. I don't work during major holidays. So.
Do you live on your own?
Yes.
Man, you're barely making it, aren't you, kiddo?
I'm barely making it.
Yeah.
I owe so much student loan debt.
How much other student loan debt do you have, not counting this $1,300?
$62,000.
Yeah, that's overwhelming, making 19. And what other kind of debt have you got?
I have consumer debt. I've taken out, I know some stupid decisions, I've taken out payday loans. I have a car note that got repossessed last year. They want $12,000 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a new car loan because I couldn't pay cash, so I'm paying that too.
How much do you owe on that car?
The one right now, around $5,000.
Mm-hmm. How much is your payment?
It's $200 a month.
Okay. All right. Well, let's walk through this for a second, okay? If you were to file bankruptcy, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the type of bankruptcy that cleans off all your debts, okay? Student loan debt is not bankruptable. So a bankruptcy would not clean off the $62,000. It might clean off the $1,300 one. I don't know. That sounds like that's a private debt, and that one might be cleaned. It would clean off your old repossession. It would clean off the payday loans. It would not clean up the $5,000 debt on the car unless you turn the car in. You don't get to get rid of the debt and keep the car. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
So you either keep the debt and keep the car, or you turn the car in and can get rid of that debt. Okay?
Okay.
If you want my opinion, I don't think you have a debt problem as much as you have a huge income problem.
I definitely agree with that.
If we could increase your income $10,000-$15,000 a year, you still wouldn't be making a ton of money, but it would change your life right now. Because let me kind of give you this number, okay? $1,300 changes your income because you get the transcripts back. $5,000 gets rid of the car debt. How much is on these stupid payday loans?
Well, I only took out $800, but as you know, the interest rate.
Yeah, how much do you owe on the stupid payday loans?
$1,700 now.
Okay, so let's do this math. $8,000, $1,700 there, $1,300 at the college, $5,000 on your car changes your whole life.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
$8,000, and then you've got a student loan that you're going to have to work your way through, but you got to work your way through that anyway. You're not getting away from that one. And you've got an old repo of $12,000 that you probably could settle for a couple grand. So $10,000 cleans up your entire life and makes it awesome, not counting the fact you got to fight through $62,000 worth of student loans. So, that tells me that you really don't have a bankruptcy problem. You've really got a debt problem. You got an income problem. So,
all right.
How much is your rent?
About $600.
Okay.
A month.
Okay. And so here's what I want you to. Have you ever waited tables or delivered pizzas?
A couple of years ago, I was a waitress when I was a teen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're 26, you said.
28.
28. Okay. All right. What I would tell you to do, if I woke up in your shoes, knowing what I know, and see, I don't have all the emotions of being overwhelmed and scared. I'm just looking at the math. So I've got an advantage right now. Okay. You've got the emotions of being overwhelmed and scared. I'm just looking at the math. And that gives me an advantage. I'm outside the forest, so I can see all the trees. You following me?
Yes, sir.
So I get that you're overwhelmed and scared, but I can tell you how to fix it. I mean, if I were you, I'd start working about 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week. I'd be delivering pizzas and waiting tables and whatever else you can come up with to make money. Tutoring, I'd be tutoring my little butt off. And a lady was on here last hour making $30 an hour in Charlotte tutoring as a teacher. And that's how she got out of debt. $30 an hour would change your life, Pick up 3 or 4 kids, pick up 3 or 4 places you can wait tables, and pick up odd jobs doing whatever. I don't know what you can do that's legal and moral, but I want you to go make an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month. But you don't have no life. You can't breathe. You're so tired, your nostrils hurt. You follow me? You don't have to worry about it, though. You won't die from hard work. Right before you die, you'll pass out. You'll be okay. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
You need to work your butt off, your fingers to the bone, and go make you $10,000 in the next 4 months. Christmas, I want you debt-free except the student loans and the car repo.
I have $60,000 worth of car debt, with about $30,000 of that being in negative equity. And let me tell you how the dealership scammed me, because I bought my car by myself back in 2022 and I got scammed, and I don't want y'all to get scammed. So let's talk about it. I went in spring of 2022 to buy my Jeep. I wanted the Jeep Wrangler, which is the hybrid car, part gas, part electric. And anyways, during that time, they didn't have a lot of stock because of COVID. And so basically they were going to order my Jeep and it would come within 3 months. Well, the dealership guy told me that they could put me in a Jeep off the lot for 3 months with no loan payment, and then they would roll the loan over to the new Jeep when it came in. I was like, oh, that sounds great. So I signed it. I didn't have any payments. My Jeep came in the mail. My Jeep came, I went and I picked it up, and y'all, when he sat me down, he handed me a piece of paper that said that the car was like $100,000. And when I tell you, I about had a fit, because when I had originally went in, the finance guy told me that my monthly payment was going to be like $600. And then when I told the car salesman that when I was picking up the Jeep, he said that the finance guy lied and that's why he doesn't work there anymore. And now I'm stuck with $1,000 car payment. And the reason why I have negative equity is because somehow, and I still don't know how he did it. I worked with a lemon law attorney and I still don't know how he did it. But basically, when he rolled the first loan into the second one, he somehow kept it higher. I don't understand how negative equity works. I honestly don't. So if you ask me questions about that, I probably can't help. But basically, if I were to sell my Jeep today, I'd be lucky if I got like $35,000 on it, and I still owe $59,000. Yeah, so if you see this video, feel free to repost it, like it, comment, share, tell me I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. I literally talked to like 3 different people, and they're like, you know, everyone makes stupid decisions when they're younger, and most of the people that I've talked to, they've made stupid decisions when it's come to cars as well. And you know what? I have to live with it. But don't make the same mistake as me just because you want a nice car, because guess what? If I could go back, I would get a used Toyota or Honda and just stick with that.
I want to talk to you guys today about how to handle a situation when you've fallen behind on your credit cards and you cannot make the minimum payment. Recently, I had a follower send me a message asking for my advice. I will put her message here on the screen, but essentially, she lost her job. She wasn't able to make her credit card payments for an extended amount of time. She's now reemployed and she owes a lot of money. And each of her cards has a minimum payment due of like $250. And she cannot afford that. So she was asking, how do I think she should handle that? Do I think that she should let them get charged off and then pay them, or what should she do? And here was my advice to her. And I want to share this here in case this is helpful to anyone else. Also, I'm in the middle of moving and that's why my TV is on the floor. If this is helpful, I hope this is helpful to other people. If you have found yourselves behind in your credit cards, the most important thing that you should do is call your creditors and communicate with them. I personally found myself in this situation a few years ago, probably about 4 years ago. I had lost my job. And I had no income for a long time, for probably like 6 months. And during that 6 months, my credit card bills just piled up. They piled up with past due balances, late fees, all kinds of fees. And once I got a job, the amount due was too much for me to get caught up on. So I called the credit card companies and I explained to them. So you're going to call them, you're going to tell them, you know, I lost my job, or whatever your situation is, I wasn't able to make my payment, or I'm not able to make my payment. It's better to do it while you're in the situation than do like me and wait till you're out of the situation. But I called them and said, I lost my job, I wasn't able to make my payments, or I'm not able to make my payments currently, but I don't want to get this, behind on this. I want to pay you guys something. What can you do to help me? And you will be surprised at how many of your creditors are able to accommodate you. I had one credit card company, when I made this call, lower my monthly payment to $10 a month. I think I owed about $500 on that card. They lowered my minimum payment due to $10 a month for an entire year. I had another credit card company lower my monthly payment, remove all of my late fees, and bring my interest rate down to 0% for like 6 months. And I busted my butt to pay that card off in that 6 months. You will be surprised. At that time, I think I had 8 credit cards. All of my credit cards except one was able to accommodate me. Everybody else lowered my payments, got rid of late fees. They came up with some sort of thing that worked for my budget so that I was able to not completely ruin my credit and to get those cards paid off. So it's really easy when you are in these financially stressful situations to stick your head in the sand and ignore them. But friend, that is the worst thing that you can do. It doesn't hurt to call and ask what they can do. You might be surprised.
Those were just a few stories of the many people who are suffering from debt. And here are my takeaways from all of those videos. So what I took away from these videos is spending on wants via credit card without having the cash is a no. Acquiring expensive needs such as a luxury car instead of a practical car that takes you from point A to B, a no, especially when you can't afford it. Having that yellow mentality of that damn near everything in your life, no. Never looking at spending or the total debt as it is being gained. Child, look at your debt. Finding other incomes when your degree isn't hiring. You just got your degree. I understand that's what you want to be, but please get a job to hold you over until you can get hired for that position. Priorities. People prioritizing having fun, having experience, living life to the fullest all the time without actually financially being there. Not ideal. You got to build up sometimes. And education on financial literacy. This, I think, will save us a lot to be educated. So that's where we're going to go to step 2, which is going to be learning about proper finance. So join me in the next video where we get deep down and see, or not see, but learn what we should know about our finances.